Hello, and welcome back to another lesson in the science of art. I am your host. No, not doing that again. Already made that joke two or three lessons ago. So let's keep this simple because I'm not very good at complicating things. Hi, this is lesson 5, 6, 9, 5 of the science of art. And for those of you who are relatively new, which is none, because there's no one that, you know, at this point in time who really watches these, that's a sad point, isn't it? Like, I'm going to look back on this potentially, hopefully, in the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 years and be like, man, why did I say that in the stupid video? Anyway, oh, it doesn't look like I'm doing much. I'm just going to open up a new thing because I feel it's a bit weird not having something on the screen. No, I'm not, because I'm not really doing anything. Uh, so I'm just gonna draw for a bit because I can. That looks pretty weird. Do you think? I think it looks weird. Oh man, what is that with my settings? You can see I don't really prepare for these kind of things. It's just also I'm painting with I'm painting with a, oh no, I'm not. What am I thinking? I'm going absolutely nuts. A crazy, a small bit spacing. Why is that so high? So at the moment, I'm really into drawing just heads. Like, I don't know why. So I'm just gonna draw a head whilst I kind of. Oh, it kind of feels like kind of fun thing to do, I guess. Kind of very graphical. Graphical. That's a fun word, isn't it? Graphical. I like that word. I'm gonna keep saying it. Graphical. Graphical. I always find Photoshop is so much simpler to draw in. I don't know about you. It's just like you can just work so quickly, especially now I've got my new tablet, which isn't like a Cintiq or anything, but it's new, it's fun, it's hip, it's out, it's happening, Let's give him, I don't know, funky hair that kind of goes like this. Oh shit, I've made Donald Trump. Oh man, oh, okay. Scrub that back a bit. There we go. Look, it's. Oh yeah. I was watching this film the other day called The Art of the Deal. It was probably one of the worst, probably one of the most like stereotypical films ever, starring Johnny Depp as uh, Mr. President-elect himself, Donald J. Trump, who I found out was 70 the other day. That was weird. And like, I guess it makes sense. Like he's done so much stuff. You kind of have to be relatively old to have done so much cool stuff, I guess. It's not cool, I mean. Well, he's done a lot of cool stuff, let's be honest. But yeah, this is literally now just turning into a video of me rambling on about random things, which is fine. I enjoy that. So, yeah. Ta-da! Now we have a face to work with. I'm gonna do something proper soon, but it's a really quick thing, so I just wanted to talk about stuff. This is like an art. It's an artsy vlog. Get it? That's stupid. That was a dumb joke. Well done on that. Anyway, so anyway, let's get back to the thing at hand. What I want to do today in my this is the boring bit. I feel like why is it the boring bit? It shouldn't be boring. It should be fun. I'm trying to make learning educate. Well, no, why would I do that? That's just stupid. Everyone says I'm trying to make learning fun. Like not. I'm trying to teach you the science of art. How to it's like art theory. Like when you take a music exam, you know, and you got practical, which is for me playing the trumpet. You got literally blowing air through a tube, making a funny noise, and then you've got the theory. How do you read the notes, and how does different notation represent different things? And this is kind of what I'm teaching you: how to create things, and why does certain things happen? Why do certain things create certain um, effects. And so, like, in the last 4 videos, I think, I think that's the right number anyway, I've shown how perspective works and why that is what it is and why it works the way it works. I've shown how light falls on a cube and a sphere, and there is so much more stuff to learn. Uh, and what in this lesson is going to be how to use light to your advantage when doing a piece such as this. Now I'm gesturing towards the screen, and obviously you can't see that. But anyway, little explanation behind this piece. This is a university piece I'm working on, inspired by children's book, I want to say, but it's inspired by Gulliver's Travels. And as you can hopefully see, we have a little person from Lilliput, and any of you that read the book will know what I'm on about. I've gone with my adaptation is trying to make it a little bit more realistic in a way, while still keeping that fictional edge to it. So I've turned the Lilliputian into a tribal Native American inspired person, because I kind of feel like that would be more likely what someone of the time would have found on a remote island. An uncolonized, nature orientated tribal group. And you know, you look through all history, all original native to that land were all very similar in the way that they dressed, similar in the way that they hunted, blah blah blah, all of that. It was all very, well, pardon the pun, very tribal. Pun? Was that really a pun? Yeah, wow. I'll own it. It was a pun. It was funny. Deal with it. And that is what I've tried to then represent in my work. So I respectfully have greatest respect for all tribes out there, and all tribes that are still, you know, maintained and still going, such as some of the Native American tribes, and you know, African tribes and Aborigine tribes, and all of those. I have great respect for them and what they're doing, and I wanted to respect that as well by doing as much research as I can into the culture, into what they would have worn. Now this is just a simple sketch. I have since developed it a small bit, but yeah. Anyway, if you guys would like to see the final piece, then yeah, just put in the comments and I'll do a video on that. If not, I won't. We'll just see what happens. I'll probably do one anyway, so just keep watching and see what happens. Anyway, so this video, is all going to be based upon how you can use light to your advantage to create atmosphere, depth, atmospheric perspective, and a general fun. You know, just to create a bit more of a flow to your work. Now, what I'm going to do is just a little bit of setup. My first bit of setup was I cropped my image, and so if I do that, you can see I've set my cropping to golden ratio. Now, you don't necessarily need to know the maths behind the golden ratio, but basically you've got a ratio of 5 and 8. And that's like 1.167 is like the number. So you take the length, divide it by 1.167, or 0.167, something like that. 616, I can't remember, something like that. And that gives you this line. And the idea being you want to sit things, you know, on this line, which is your main character. And as you can see, it's all very in proportion, you know. So here's the chest, here's his legs. I wanted to fit as much in proportion as I could. So his head is the thing that generally people go, because it's got the eyes, so you look at that more directly. That's where I wanted to kind of lie my character on. So I did this drawing traditionally on paper, and then took a photo, airdropped it in. That sounds funny. Not air, like, it's an iPhone thing. Just leave it as it is. Anyway, so now it's here. I've cropped it into a composition which I quite like. I'm going to set this to multiply, which means if I start painting on here, if you paint blank, then obviously it's not going to. Let's do a grey. There we go. Look, you can still see the lines. It's just, No, actually, what I might do is go here and adjust it. You can see this now. Great. Adjust the curves is what I want. Oh, that's levels. Why did I do that? No, I want to go image adjustments curves. There we go. And push this up a bit. Push this down. This is like my generic way of just having darker lines. It's kind of just like my go-to way of just simplifying things. And then push that down a bit. That's a little better. If I do some more adjustments, this is going to take a while, and I just want to desaturate it, darken it up. But no, that's probably good. And then more adjustments. This is like I said, it's going to probably take a while. Curves. We want to just darken up the shadows like so, and then just bring this. No, that's too much down. There we go. That kind of darkens up the lines anyway. So on here, well, first thing to talk about is light, as from near to the viewer's face, your eyes, and all the way up into the horizon. Basically, things that are close to you are going to be really dark, and things far away are going to be really light. And so that's simple, all I'm doing is kind of painting in swathes of tone, swathes of values is, what you should really call it, because tone is created with values. Now, see, this would work if my character, let's say, wasn't like right in front of me. It would work like that as well. Because say like you're doing a sneaky scene, then you would want to have your character near to the viewer, leant up against a wall or corner or whatever, and then you could have them in darkness, so it suggests more sneakiness about them. So here we have the hand, and obviously, I'd sculpt it a bit more carefully. This is just a basic way, because whenever you start a painting, you should always start simple, and then, build it up progressively. It's something I would always recommend. Is paintings are progressive; they don't just happen in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So here we have my brave little warrior that's decided to come up to talk to good old Gulliver here. And I'm not trying to be very tight here, like to the line work that I've done. It's just a case of kind of demonstrating, shall we say, how to get this effect. Now the thing is, my sun is over here, so there's going to be light dropping in on here anyway, but since this is dark, it'd be a bit easier to, get that light contrast and so on. Because then if I drop in a white real quick, like so, like the highlights will be stuff like that. And that pops more than if it was next to, something like that. If it was surrounded in that, it wouldn't have as much pop, wouldn't be as obvious. And so having a darker figure like this, kind of looming up, because he would sort of be in shadow and all that, blah blah blah. It helps to give more definition, in my opinion. And so then the next layer is then obviously this part. Basically, in put into simple terms, I'm just gonna zoom out. I've got a river running through here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bridge and a bridge there. Basically, this whole section is gonna be this one tone, right? In basic form, and it's all gonna then be molded around that one tone. So you work either side of this tone. So either side, this would be your highlight kind of color, which you can just kind of drop in on these kind of sections around here, like so. This is like the lighter values. See where I'm going with this, right? It's already starting to bring out the features, and then we can sample this, and this means that this would be your darker tones. I hate when that happens. Like that. Your darker tones would just kind of sit on here, for example. Now this is obviously a very quick. I'm just doing this very quick. There's obviously going to be more tones to this than I'm putting in, right? But you can kind of see what I mean, right? So you're working either side of this bass tone, and slowly but surely generating this kind of. What I'm basically trying to create is this scene where this warrior guy. I'll zoom in. So this warrior guy here is he's been sent by the emperor to go and talk to Gulliver, right? And he's then been picked up to be at eye level with Gulliver to talk to him, so that they can hear each other clearly and all that, right? And so, in my imagination of the story, Gulliver is, oh, Lilliput, sorry, is set in, it's a weird kind of thing, because although these are tribal people, I've imagined them as though they're quite advanced, but they've kept to their tribal ways. And, because they have such capabilities of building large stages in like hours, not even like, you know, to be able to talk to Gulliver in the story. That's not the color one, that's the color. Yeah? Why is that so much darker? What's going on? Am I missing something here? Like, what? Why am I on that layer? What's going on? What is it to multiply? Normal. Well, that shouldn't be it. I'm gonna lock that layer so I don't do anything. Is that really? Oh, look. Okay. I'm gonna select that. Select that. Go to this layer. There we go. Making progress. Alright. Oh, select that. Okay, that now I think is separating my planes of like tone and so on, and is slowly but surely demonstrating kind of my now separation or between my front, my mid, and my background. So what I mean by that is this is in my foreground. This is the thing closest to me, and obviously there's a great separation between these two, and that's what I'm trying to demonstrate is the separation, the clear separation between two things. Anyway, I think realistically, the two tones, two variation between this tone here and this tone here is strong enough to demonstrate distance. And that's what this is trying to show, is to show distance. Now, when light goes further away, from light, the way we perceive light, when things are closer, they appear darker because the shadows become more intense or something. But the things closer to light become lighter, obviously, because they're closer to it. You can see a sphere in action. You put your hand to your face, it looks very dark. You put it up against your screen you're watching this on, it will all of a sudden look a bit lighter. Be a bit more in shadow because obviously things directly next to it are light. The things behind it are in shadow. But generally, the sun's all the way off, off the screen. I can show you what I mean. The sun is going to be here. Anyway, it's far away. Anyway, it's far away, right? So you're not going to get that intense shadow. Obviously, when the sun goes lower, then you start to get that beautiful golden hour shadowing. So yeah, things closer to the sun appear lighter. Things closer to you appear darker. And this is what I wanted to demonstrate. So what I'll do now is I'll show you an example, a finished example, to help you understand. Cancel. So here is a piece I did a year ago now. Well, just less than a year ago, really, about 8 months ago. As you can hopefully see, the trees that are the closest to you are quite dark, and the character is in full shadow. It was more of an artistic preference to have him just completely black like that. And then the thing furthest away is this castle. And the castle has atmospheric perspective, which is pushing it back by making it appear lighter. The shadows remain dark, but it appears lighter to things which are close by. I don't think this is actually the final image, but it's close to the final image which I created in the end. However, that being said, I hope that what I've told you makes sense. So this is just a simple, very quick tonal suggestion of the process, the next process to go when you've created a line drawing. This is now you've started to gain an understanding of how light can affect things in perspective. I know this is obviously very simple, it's very quick, and it's not showing how to shade or anything like that. That will come later on. I could potentially do it with this piece, but I don't think I will because I need to work on it, obviously, quicker than I'm producing videos at the moment. Although that would be a fun thing to do, wouldn't it, in the future, is to actually get a whole piece and show start to finish. Tell you what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show how to do each thing, how to create perspective, how to give perspective, atmospheric perspective, and how to shade, and then do a full illustration for you guys. And what would be cool if you could give suggestions as to what you want. I'll show my full technique, my full method as to how I do that. And yeah, no, that's that. I hope you really enjoyed this. It was a bit of a different feel to it, like the start was a bit crazy or whatever. This is going to be largely uncut because I'm lazy like that. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you, as I say, I hope you will go out now and practice what I've just preached to you for the last, well, to me it's 40 minutes of recording, and for you it's probably going to be half an hour of watching. Half an hour, that's probably a good time. I rambled on a lot. Um, my advice after this would just be to say go out and look at things in this way. If you live out by the countryside, like in a forest or on a mountain range, like in England, say the New Forest, or you live in the Peak District or something, look for this. Hopefully, you'll see what I've been talking about for the last half hour about how light, I'm going to use a fancy word, dissipates over distance, or rather, not dissipates. No, I use a fancy word, and I don't even mean that. I mean light works in a way where things close to you are darker than the things far away. So if you can see rolling hills, the closest to the horizon line, the things are going to be lighter in color and in value than that tree that you're standing next to. And also the things to also consider is something else that I'll talk about later on. Things close to you obviously will have more detail. Things far away will be fuzzy. And just to show you kind of quickly what I mean by that is this tree here, this beautifully drawn tree, obviously, is amazing. There's a lot more things going on than the mountain and the castle here is very limited.